Good morning and welcome to WKNI TV 25. Good news segment, and I've got, man, I'll tell you, I love this man on the set. He's always a lot of fun. He's really a nice guy, one of the nicest guys in Covington County that you run into, and I'm proud to call him a friend, and also we're proud to have him on as a client as well here on WKNI. And I'm talking about David Darby from Darby's Village Pharmacy. David, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me.
I've been wanting you on here for a while, and you're busy. Every time I go over there, you're like this and doing this, but you're busy. And,
yeah.
Can I talk a little bit about your business?
Sure.
Before we go into some stuff. I go into a couple of different pharmacies, all right, because you got to price things and do things. I do, okay? I'm uninsured. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we do a lot of our dealings now through y'all, and it's more so because of the way you do business. And I can tell you, I've been in every pharmacy in this town, whether it's to buy a Coke or whether it's buy, whatever, and the friendliness isn't there. Your whole crew, okay? It's like people better get greeted when they come in the door. They better be talked to. And it's like some kind of a different world when you walk into your pharmacy. The warmth, the compassion that you have. You'll stop whatever you're doing if a client has a question. Come down from around that thing. Come down, shake their hand and talk to them. Seen you do it a number of times. You've done it for me and Teresa many times. And I just want to applaud you on that. That's successful business, and you and Laura do a great job on that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We opened in 1997, and when we opened, I chose as our slogan, we want to be your personal pharmacy. And that's kind of what we're aiming for right there, is where you get the personal attention. If you come in that store, I want either me speak to you or somebody in the store speak to you and recognize that you're there. And I think that's the advantage we have. In our original location, it's a very small space, and so I think we have the advantage that being in that small space, that we can speak to you and acknowledge you. And even in our newer store, it's a little bit larger, but still you should get that same service, and I know you do with the staff that we have over there.
Well, the new store is just phenomenal. I mean, you walk in the door and it's just beautiful, and that's the one across from the hospital over there on South Three Notch. And but your staff, every single one of them, I mean, they're just all bubbly all the time. And what do you feed them? Candy or what?
No, they're every person we have had the opportunity to join our team, we've selected every one of them, and they're normally people that I had a relationship with. A lot of them were customers, and some of the associates there have been with me not only in this venture at Darby's, but even at Harco. When I worked for Harco for 14 years, and I actually hired some of the people that work with me now when they were at Harco. So
wow.
I've had a long relationship with all these people.
Well, you and Laura do a wonderful job. How's the young lady's doing? And
yeah, she's doing great.
The young lady.
Yeah, she, in fact, we spent the weekend with her this weekend. She flew down she's in New York City.
New York City?
New York City. It's
wow.
her dream. And, my kids, I've encouraged them to chase their dreams, and that's her dream. And she came down from New York City to go to the Auburn ball game this past weekend, and we dropped her back off at the Atlanta airport about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and where she beat me back to New York before I got back to Andalusia. So
it was a good time to come watch Auburn play.
Oh, any time's a good time to come watch Auburn play. And then of course my son is he's a senior at Auburn. He'll graduate in May, and he's applying for law schools right now.
Wow, man! I'll tell you, beautiful family. Your daughter's just totally awesome. When she was here, when you were setting up your second store, she was just really cool. She was really a sweetheart.
She did a lot of work on the gift section out there, and did a tremendous job. She did most of the buying, and she set the entire section. So Yeah, I'm very proud of the job
I
she
noticed
did.
I didn't see any Alabama stuff in there while she was.
There's some Alabama stuff in there. We'll sell anything to anybody. So.
Even the Alabama paraphernalia.
Yeah, we actually had Troy stuff in there also.
Well,
Yeah.
Troy, see, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm a Gator, okay,
Yeah.
and I love my team. It's a good team. Whether they win or lose, I'm there. It's just like with other teams and people. But Troy has become another exciting point for me to watch them in football. They're coming along pretty good.
They've really grown over the last 10 or 15 years as far as the status of their entire athletic program, basketball and baseball.
Right.
They have a fine baseball team.
Well, you guys are doing an awesome job over there. Tell us a little about the new store. It's right there across from the hospital, and it's got something that I haven't seen at your other store, and that's a drive-through.
Well, that's right. And when we opened the first store, I was involved in Harco being acquired by Rite Aid, and so it was a very good opportunity for me to open my store, but I didn't have the time to do everything exactly the way I wanted. I needed to get open because I had bills to pay and
Right.
children to feed and all those. So when we did the new store, that gave us an opportunity to do everything that we wanted. And I had grown up in drugstores in Montgomery, and in Montgomery, all the drugstores had gift sections. So I wanted a gift section.
Right.
And then I wanted a drive-through because a lot of people like the convenience of a drive-through. And then the other thing, there are a lot of changes going on in healthcare in general and pharmacy in particular. We're able to do a lot of different things in the new store because of the space we have. We have an education room. And in that room, we can do education on different disease states. We just got approval to do cholesterol screenings. We can screen for cholesterol, for glucose, for BMI. You can come out there. We have a scale that will tell you what your BMI is, and
What is BMI?
body mass index. And
Mine's not that big.
You and I wouldn't enjoy it. But no, you can come if you want to come for the entire panel that we can do. Probably take you about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and
Even for me?
even for you. And
There's a lot of mass here, dude.
yeah, but you come out there, you'll walk out, you'll know what your total cholesterol is, your triglycerides, your LDL, your HDL cholesterol, your glucose, and we can take your blood pressure. And so,
How about your sugar and stuff like that?
yeah, take the sugar. That'd be part of it. And it was interesting. I had to go for my regular checkup last week, and so I had gone by our store the same day that they did my levels for my doctor's appointment. I wanted to see how close it was, and they were within 2 points
Wow.
of each other. So the test is very accurate. It's actually covered on a lot of people's insurances. If you're a state employee, or if you're a local government employee, which would include the Southeast Alabama Gas District, the test is covered for you and your spouse. And in fact, for the state employees, their copays are incentivized. If you go have the screening done, you'll have lower copays
Wow.
at the doctor's office. So, and a lot of the state employees and the LGB people, they have it done on site, but their spouses aren't always done. So, I would encourage you, if you're a spouse of one of those people, to go by the store. You can go by on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday without an appointment. It might be better if you make an appointment, but you can drop by without an appointment on those days, and then we'll do by appointment on Tuesday and Thursdays. So.
Well, David, I'd love to come out there and shoot something like that and show the people what it is, because usually when you go to the doctor's office and get that, it's I don't want to use that terminology, but it's wham bam and you're out the door, and then you don't know what's going on, and a couple of days later, hopefully the doctor's office calls you and here's your results.
Yeah.
But you can get it right there.
You can get right there. It's a screening. It's a finger prick. You just you do a finger prick. It takes just a little bit of blood to fill the capillary tube up. A screening by its nature is not as accurate as a deep vein puncture, but it will give you a very
gives you an idea.
Right. It gives you an indication if you need a further evaluation, and that's the whole purpose of it.
And pharmacies today are getting more and more service orientated in those areas, and we have the opportunity now to get that service through Darby's at the second location now.
That's right, and yeah, it's fairly unique. There are only a handful of stores across the state that are set up to do this. All our pharmacists, we have 5 pharmacists, and all of them have been certified by Auburn University to perform these tests, and so I'm real proud of all our pharmacists for going and getting the extra training to do that.
Well, I know at one time you're also going to have, what is it, breathing and stuff like that? Is that set up yet at the second store?
No, we haven't done anything on breathing yet, but we're prepared to do diabetic education. We're waiting to get approval from Medicare to be able to bill for it, but we are able, we are certified to do diabetic education out there as well.
That's something I sure need. I'll tell you, diabetes is no joke.
No.
And I took it lightly in the beginning, but now as I get older with it, you can feel, and see some of the things that come along with diabetes. I don't heal as quickly.
Yeah.
I bump myself and it would go, oh boy, it's there. And I used to watch my mom do that, and now I know what it's like.
Yeah.
So, but David, tell us a little bit about, well, I know what you got over there. Folks, you ain't seen it yet. It's a needle about this big, about that big around. And we're going to talk about that needle here in a minute. But yeah, and there's a glove, and there's an alcohol swab. It ain't looking pretty, but I bet you if you hang around, you're going to get to see Eddie scream. Did I tell you I faint at the sight of needles?
Well, you've been looking at this one for a pretty
Yeah,
while.
but I haven't seen the needle yet. When I see that little shiny spear on it, I'm going to go, and everybody will sit there and go, oh, look at him. But no, we'll be all right with that. It's flu season.
It is flu season. We've, in fact, we've already had a few cases, documented cases of flu here in Andalusia and Covenant County this early in October. Last year we had a very early flu season, and looks like we might have an early flu season again this year.
We're going to talk about that. And you see I keep pointing at it. Teresa's over there smiling from ear to ear like, yeah, I know how he is. But I want to talk about that. But what in the world is going on with people's sinuses lately?
It's just the byproduct of living in lower Alabama. You have 2 big allergy seasons here, and one's in the spring and one's this time of year, and it gets dry and people's allergies start acting up, and I have it first thing in the morning. I'm coughing and sneezing, and there's a lot of ways to treat it. You can take antihistamines, like Allegra, Claritin, both those are over the counter, Zyrtec, and take those just during this time of the year. You can get a prescription for a steroid nasal spray.
I got that. Yeah.
And just use that and just try to bear with it.
Well, let me tell you what happened with me. The doctor handed me a Z-Pack. Okay, and that's I guess a bunch of antibiotics, and I had the Flonase from last year because I'm scared of steroids. Okay, be honest with you, because I don't hear good things about steroids all the time. But anyway, they told me to go ahead and use that it was okay and all this. And I took the Z-Pack, and what was it, 5 days? Okay? 5 days of taking the pills and using the Flonase once every 24 hours on the dosage. And about 3 days ago, buddy, I was clear. I was like, oh, yeah. I can breathe again.
Yeah.
And then over the weekend, okay, I quit doing the Flonase. I shot once with Afrin, okay, which I was told not to do, and now I'm all stopped up again. What happened?
Well, the Flonase was keeping the allergies down, and then when you took it away, the allergies were still there. The Flonase was just keeping you from responding to it. And so you just get back on Flonase and live with it on Flonase until the end of the month. And cool weather comes, you'll be okay.
Oh man, I'll tell you, I am an anti-medicine person. Well, me and you've had that conversation.
Yeah, we don't like people like you.
Well, I'll go get the medicine and it'll sit in the cabinet.
Yeah.
You know, and because I don't know, it's just Eddie, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm seriously taking the medicine for my thyroid and my diabetes and things like that. But when it comes to those extra ones out there, I try to rough it. And folks, this is no fun trying to rough because, it's awful. We're going to take a quick commercial break, David, if you don't mind. I want to come back in. We're going to talk about the flu season and flu shots. And I want to dispel some rumors because, you know, I don't want the flu.
Yeah.
Okay? And then people say, I got the flu shot. Boy, did I get the flu. But
You can't get the flu.
yeah, I know, but people out there think that.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that answer right after these messages. David, thank you. This is Eddie and David Darby right here on WKNI TV. Good news. And I don't know if it's going to be great for me here in a little bit, but Eddie's going to get a flu shot live on TV. Folks, we're live back here with good news, maybe. David Darby, local pharmacist here in Andalusia, and we're talking about the flu shot. So let's dispel the rumor, okay? I take the shot, am I going to get the flu?
No, the flu vaccine it's called a kill virus. It's a dead virus. You cannot get the flu from a flu shot.
So I've seen people that got the flu shot get the flu, but I was told that they had the flu before they got the flu shot.
And that, it could be that. Also, you know, the flu vaccine changes year to year, and the CDC, it's their best guess at what is going to be what strain of flu is going to be out there this year, and this will give you protection against 3 different strains, and so it's still just a best guess. Last year's flu shot they missed on. It was probably the biggest miss they've had in quite some time. And so a lot of people who got the flu shot did get the flu. They will say this: if you get the flu shot and you get the flu, it will be less severe. And you know, a lot of people will come in the store and say, "Oh, I've got the flu." Let me tell you, if you got the flu, you're probably not in my store. You're home in the bed. Now, I mean, you can look at somebody and know
Right.
if they've got the flu or not. But CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older get the flu shot.
Okay.
So
Now, dispel the other one. Conspiracy theory. There's not some special stuff that's in there that the government puts in to...
but if
I've heard some wild stuff about this.
Yeah, no, but the president's not going to stalk you. And,
and you won't sign up as a Democrat after taking the shot?
No. If only it were that easy.
Believe me, there'll be a lot more people here soon being Democrats, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyhow, getting away from politics. But folks, I want you to know, up until this past 2 years, I've been anti-flu shot. And I've thought about it real heavy, and I've studied on it. The internet's been a blessing for me on it, so I can learn about it. David's been a big help. And this is going to be my first flu shot ever. So
Don't pass out on me.
You guys are really encouraging here.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was that big of a needle. But
It's a tiny needle. The needle's not near as big as that looks like.
okay. All right. I had to sign some papers.
Right.
All right. The big thing that we got to be careful of is that you're not allergic to egg whites, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I had eggs yesterday, so I'm good.
Okay. You ready for this?
I know. But
Roll this.
yeah, you can go ahead and. Yeah, I know. It's got it's that body mass stuff. You got to
Yeah.
go through here.
All right.
Oh.
Man, there are so many people
Look at-
wish I could do this.
They're standing in line, David, so here we go.
Just a little prick.
A little prick. And now I'm being... Are you
That's
done?
it.
That was it?
That was it. Nothing to it.
I didn't even know you did it.
Yeah.
All right. So They can come. How do they do this with you? Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, you can, even with our stores, you can come by Monday through Friday, anytime, no appointment needed. That's about how long it takes.
Wow.
Most people's insurance pays for it.
It's not that expensive, though.
No, it's not. It's our cash price is $34.97, but most people's insurance pays for it. If you're on Medicare, anybody on Medicare gets it at no charge.
Yeah, how do you like the square shots that we're getting with the news?
Well, it's great, and I know you're happy to be downtown.
Oh man, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Folks feel free to come in. We let folks know to come on in, and we've got fresh Dunkin' Donuts original coffee over there. They're welcome to come in and get a cup. But it's a multi-million-dollar backdrop that most stations wouldn't even think about having.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the courthouse. You got, what's that called? Not the Presswood building, but Timberland building. Beautiful backdrops. You got the Warden Company. You got that state representatives guy over there. What's his name?
Mike
Jones Jr. That's right.
Mike are Facebook friends now.
That's good. I'm glad to see.
I will say, Mike is, as most people know, we were opponents in the last election, but we were friendly opponents.
You guys were awesome together.
Yeah. And I will say, Mike he's done a very good job. He on any pharmacy issue, he's called me. He's reached out to me to see what my thought on it was, and I appreciate the job Mike's done. And,
I believe Mike's more Democrat than he is Republican, but I didn't say that.
Well, if you say that, you'll get in trouble.
Not me. I'm teasing him, of course, but he's done very well, and we're proud of him. Yeah. And he's served this district very well, and nobody will ever replace Seth Hammett. Okay, nobody. Not even you.
Yeah.
Okay, you would have come close, but there's nobody that can, and Seth's done a job that's still working today.
We did, and Seth was there for 28 years,
right.
And to think that anybody could walk in and be in the position to do the things. Mike, I think, has the ability to do the things that Seth did. He just doesn't have a position yet.
And he's come a long way in a short time.
Yeah.
I mean, the governor knows who Mike Jones Jr. is. Mm-hmm. I mean, and the House does, and people know that. We're not here for Mike, but Mike, we love you. Yeah, she's like, go back to the flu shop. Boy, who runs this place?
I think we're seeing it.
Thanks, Stephen. Laura, where are you when I need you? I want to see that. All right, the flu shot. We're told by the producer here to get back to the flu shot. So is no side effects.
But occasionally somebody will come down with it. They might feel bad for the next 24 hours. But the main side effect, anybody.
Oh, thanks a lot. You didn't tell me that.
No, but you won't have that. The main side effect people will have, their arm might be sore for about a day, and that's it.
I really didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, most people don't. I've given them to children. I've given them to 85-year-old women. I mean, I've only had one person flinch when they got it.
Really?
Yeah.
So I hope the rest of your staff is that good with it.
Oh, you got to know if I can do it, they can do it. And all the others would give it a whole lot better looking than me.
So look what I got, folks. But I like you though. You're a good guy, and. So what hours can they come and get this?
Monday through Friday, whenever stores open, 7:30 to 5:30 at the new location, 8 to 6 at the original location. So. All
right, and no appointment, just walk in.
Yeah, no appointment. Just if you have insurance, bring your card. If you're on Medicare, be sure to bring your Medicare card. If you're cash paying customer, just
bring your cash.
Yeah, bring your cash and. But you fill out a 4-question survey, and that's it.
Well, I'm going to say something real quick, and then we're going to get away from flu shots and everything, and get into the new Health Care Act real quick, because that's on everybody's mind right now. Literally, it's shut down our government for whatever reason. I can't figure that one out. But but it has an effect. And I want to talk with you a little bit about that. But I forgot where I was going before. What was I going to do? Oh, I know what it was. One of the things about you guys, okay, and I say you guys, I'm talking about Darby's Pharmacy. I know some of your clients. We're one of your clients, okay? Teresa's more so than I am because of, different things, but different coverages that, you get the little cards and stuff. But I want to be your client, and once I get the Health Care Act taken care of. But I've seen people or talked to people that come in and the medications are phenomenal. And David, I'm not trying to send you people that are destitute or in need, but you have shown compassion in this community for our elderly. And people, I'm telling you, okay, you don't know behind the scenes like I know behind the scenes. This man, okay, if I have seen some pretty sick people that need medications that are elderly, and they have to choose between paying the light bill, putting food on the table, or go get their medication. You, sir, have taken care of those people, and I don't see how you do it, and I thank you for that.
Well, thank you for saying that.
I'm not trying to send you all the destitute people, but you're not going to let nobody go away in need.
We try to be fair to everybody that comes in the store, and that's all you can do.
Well, you're an awesome person. Your family's awesome, and I know you learned it all from Laura.
Well, I give my parents a little credit.
Oh, okay, yeah, that too. But Laura kind of kept you in line over the years.
Oh,
but,
she's tried.
Laura, he's all yours, darling. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the Health Care Act. I don't call it the thing anymore because it's not. It's a Health Care Act. Let's go back in stages. This was approved by the House and the Senate 3 or 4 years ago. Last year, it withstood the Supreme Court. It's a law. Our government's being shut down because certain people want to defund it. I've said on the show before, I personally have a reason to want to have the Health Care Act. Teresa had a heart attack. We were well insured at one time. Things happened, and we lost that insurance unexpectedly. And she's on medication. She's got high blood pressure. HEPA, I guess, should fall in here, right? But then I have diabetes, thyroid, and high blood pressure, and whatever else. Body mass. It's new terminology for me. We have gone to just about every healthcare agency in Alabama and been denied health insurance. Not an exorbitant premium or anything, denied, okay, because of previous health issues. Now, we did have a third party, fourth party somewhere out of the state say, hey, look, we'll give you $20,000 deductible insurance, okay, excluding your current health conditions and but for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? I mean, I need to have it now for the conditions I have. So with the Health Care Act kicking in, I'm for it because of pre-existing conditions. Me and Teresa can get affordable insurance. Teresa and I can get a complete package for her and I think it's with $2,500 or $1,500 deductible. I can't remember which one it is, for under $600 a month. Some people go, ooh, that's awful. No, it's not.
Yeah.
If you're working for a large company that was doing a copay with you, you're paying $300 to $400 a month for insurance. Am I right?
Well, right now on our group at the pharmacy, and we're part of a fairly large group. through the statewide association, but our family coverage is a little bit over $900 a month total cost. Individual coverage is pushing $400 a month, and that's, I mean, that's the high cost of insurance. And that, you know, you are the classic case of why the Affordable Care Act was passed. It's for people who, through no fault of their own, cannot get insurance. And people want to fuss about the individual mandate, but the counter to the no exclusion for pre-existing conditions is you can't wait until you've had a heart attack to say, now I need insurance. To make it work, you have to have the insurance, at a young age, because there is no magic pool of money out there. What insurance companies do is they take everybody's money and put it in a pool, and they pay claims out of that money. There is no magic pool of money that's created. And what the insurance company, they have actuaries that run the tables. They know that you might have a heart attack this year, but you're not going to have a heart attack every year. And so they're spreading the risk across the entire pool. The Affordable Care Act, I think I saw over the weekend, as of yesterday morning, they had 8.6 million people had gone on the federal website, which doesn't include people in states that set up on their own exchanges.
Right.
You have that's just people like people in Alabama.
I've been on it.
Yeah. And so I think it's going to be interesting. Nobody truly knows what was going to happen on it. But it's just like Medicare. 50 years ago, Medicare was this controversial.
Right.
And almost the exact same thing happened. It was pushed through by one party with no bipartisan support. And but now 50 years later, after many changes to Medicare, I don't think you find any politician wanting to take Medicare away.
Oh, they wouldn't survive politically.
And the first attempt at national health insurance in America was 120 years ago.
Oh, really?
Can you
I
believe
didn't know that.
They've been trying to do this for 120 years. And to think they got it right the first time they got it through would be naive. There will be changes to it. Just like under President Bush, they passed the Medicare drug bill, and that was a great benefit to a lot of senior citizens that didn't have drug coverage before. Well, they've changed that because they created this terrible, what they call the donut hole in the middle coverage gap. And part of the Affordable Care Act is closing the donut hole. And I think it's by 2019 the donut hole's gone away.
Well, let me ask you this. People say there's a Part D and all this to Medicare. I don't know yet. I've got 6 more years before I qualify for it. What is it, 65?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
After Randy Wall that.
6 years I got right now, anyway, if they don't change it. Now, there's a Part D. Is that where it's supposed to cover that donut hole?
No. Part D is the actual drug benefit. Yeah, Part A, which is basically your hospital. Part B, the doctors. And then Part D is the drug plan. Part of the drug plan has the donut hole in it. And the donut hole was reduced slightly last year. It's going to be reduced even more this year and gradually phased out until I think it's 2019.
I don't want to get any real heavy, atmosphere right now, but I think what really needs to be regulated is the insurance companies. And we wouldn't have this problem with the Health Care Act if we had insurance companies that weren't profiting trillions, I didn't say millions, I didn't say billions, trillions of dollars a year and living like fat cats at the top, and everybody else is suffering. And do you see my? You got to be careful.
Yeah. You're not going to get me on tape saying anything like that. But you got to remember. I mean, a lot of insurance companies they are for profit.
Right.
And so they've been very profitable. You have some like Blue Cross of Alabama. They're a nonprofit.
Right, but they got profit.
Entity, yeah.
We know how that works, right, folks? We can't get David. We don't want to. Yeah. But insurance, if it was, I'm seeing it, if it was regulated to where, everybody, like you say, with the Health Care Act, it kind of puts a pool together. Well, that's how insurance was supposed to be, put a pool together, have that reserve there. This person may get sick, this person probably won't get sick, so it counteracts, one another, and there's a little bit of profit built in there. But now, okay, because they regulate who can get insurance, all right, you can't go into this. I know it, and I'm sitting here. It's not fair to you. I'm expressing my personal opinion, of course, but insurance companies, to me, brought this on themselves.
Well, and actually, a lot of the insurance companies were in favor of this because it did open up a whole new pool of people for them, and it's important that people realize that the Affordable Care Act is not government insurance.
Right.
If you're
paying for it.
Yeah. Well, you're still using the private insurance companies, and so it's not a system such as what England has or Canada.
Right.
It's still free market principles with private insurance companies offering the insurance, and also with individual providers that like myself and the other pharmacies in this town, the doctors, the hospitals.
Right.
So it's not government run insurance. It's obviously government regulated, but it's not government run.
You've got people now like myself. When I go to the hospital, you're concerned whether you're going to get treatment or not to its fullest effect because you don't have insurance, okay? They look at you different. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they do. I mean, I can remember when I had insurance, I'd throw the card down, boom, everything was taken care of. Here they go, well, we'll run this test and do this because this one's expensive and you're self-pay. And I'm like, but I don't want to die,
Yeah.
okay? And but this will take that element out of it. This will put everybody on the same playing field. Now, when we say government regulated, they can impose fines and penalties if you don't have it. And I don't like that, okay? But I had a discussion with my neighbor over here the other day about he doesn't like being told what he has to have. Well, in the state of Alabama, if you drive a motor vehicle and have a driver's license, you can have auto insurance, okay? If you don't, you're breaking the law, and if you get caught, you're going to get penalized, all right? If you live in some of these cities and communities, you're going to have trash service, trash pickup. It's mandatory. The government's telling you you have to have that. And when you want to, build something in the city or put something together, you got to go get a permit. That's government regulation.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got it, and now we're looking at it as health care, and I think overall that it's going to be people say, oh, doctors aren't going to like it, they're going to run away. Hospitals can't, afford. They're going to actually get paid from millions of people that could not pay before.
Our history has been. And I've been in the pharmacy business for over 30 years here in town, is every time a new group gets added to insurance, volume goes up. Now the payment you receive for each service goes down.
Right.
So, but overall the volume goes up and it counteracts.
That's what I was going to say, because you didn't have that million in that market.
Right.
Okay. And it's going to cost, or it's not going to cost you, it's going to be less made off of that individual, but you're going to spread it a million times, it's going to make up the difference.
Right, and that's been our history. When I moved here, and this was not unique to pharmacy in Alabama, but when I moved here, basically the only third party you had was Medicaid, and you had about 15% of your business was Medicaid prescriptions. You had a few retirees from up north that worked for big plants up north. They had insurance coverage, but that was it. Right. Nobody had insurance coverage. Now it's almost reverse of that. About 10% of our business is cash paying customers. So and now what's going to happen? Because you'll say, well, that doesn't jive with the numbers that you hear. How many people don't have insurance? What it is that a lot of people who don't have insurance don't get prescriptions filled.
That's right.
So,
and they don't get the medical attention they need, and
a big piece of the Affordable Care Act is but preventative services.
I'm glad you're hitting on that.
Yeah, it's the type of thing I was talking about with the cholesterol screening. Yeah,
Right.
we got, there are people walking around, they're a heart attack waiting to happen, and they don't know it.
Yeah, I know it.
And so, you go in there, and if you can prevent a heart attack from happening by getting people on the right medications, then you can save a lot of money out of the healthcare system.
Right.
And so that's going to be a big piece of it. Most of the plans, I think, the preventative services will have no copay to incentivize people to go in there and get those services.
Well, that's people today. It's like I said earlier with you and the elderly coming in there deciding whether they can pay for their electric bill or put food on the table or buy medications. There are real people out there, not elderly, that their children and themselves are getting medicine or health care because they can't afford it. Mm-hmm. And that's where I like this stopgap. In other words, everybody will be equal. And, sometimes people don't want to be equal. They like having that, hey, I got this great insurance. You don't. But now, here's the thing that comes along with that. Their insurance policy should go down.
You would think as you add people to the pool that overall, and the premiums that came out on the health exchange, for the most part, were less than the premiums that people were paying overall.
Well, I can get a policy that's kind of high. Okay, I don't believe in a $20,000 deductible. That's going to take a while. But, I mean, it's less than about $220 or something like that, mm-hmm. Okay? Or I can go to the plan that I looked at for $537, I think it is, and have a $1,500, $25, a more reasonable deductible, mm-hmm. And still be able to afford it. Some people can't afford that. But here's the other thing. The government's going to subsidize those with the financial inability to pay for that.
Right, yeah. From what I read, I think you go to 4 times the poverty. If you're at 4 times the poverty rate or below, you will qualify for some type of subsidy, which I think goes to about $46,000 for
something like that. I read that
for individual, and I think actually about $90,000 income for a family of 4 is where the subsidy plays out. So that there is going to be a lot of help for people out there. I'm not going to lie to anybody. This is going to cost a lot of money by the government, and that's where it gets to be a philosophical debate. What's the purpose of government? And it's a fair debate for people to have.
Well, I personally, have my reasons, and obviously I'm one of the ones that fell through the cracks that, believe it or not, I fell through a crack. But it's a void that we have, and Teresa and I live with that every day. But now we're looking so forward to January 1st to where I can sit there and go to my doctor and say, hey, the preventative maintenance, I want to go ahead and go through it, mm-hmm. and be, get that physical, maybe get a different type of medication for my diabetes and get it treated better and things like that. And I'm not saying I'm not getting treated good right now, but there'll be options, okay, that I can have. Procedures and things like that people are waiting on because they can't afford to pay for it. They'll be there and be able to get it. I mean, I don't know, folks. There's a lot of fundraisers go on around this community for people that don't have insurance.
Yeah.
And here, everybody is going to have it. So I think it's.
Yeah.
I think now. I'm not saying President Obama. I'm not saying anything about a political issue. I'm saying the Health Care Act overall for Teresa and I will benefit from it, and there'll be a lot of others out there. It has nothing to do with the president. It has nothing to do with Obamacare, as people call it. It has to do with common sense for me and economics.
Yeah.
And you got to look at it that way.
Yeah. And it's like I say, I guarantee it's not going to be perfect. When you get in there, there are going to be some things that are going to need to be changed, and we don't know what they are yet, or we go ahead and change them. But there are going to be some issues with it, and it will get changed. And we we've been through this before on a lot of other legislative issues, and we'll get through this.
Do you see you're going to see more business, right?
I'm hoping.
Well, to me it would make sense.
Yeah, I think we will, yeah.
And because people, and then those that have been rationing their money on whether or not they take their medications and stuff or eat, and folks, you hear me say that, but that's for real.
Yeah.
I mean, when my mother was alive, she lived in a senior, what do you call it, subsidized complex.
Mm-hmm.
And her neighbor would buy cat food. And I'm serious, cat food. And it was in her cupboards. And I said, "Where's your cat?" "Oh, no, that's my food." Sad.
Yeah.
Sad stuff. And my mom, when she found that out, started cooking for the woman. She gained like 50 pounds, and died of a heart attack later on. So I don't know if that any help to her or not. But she was, and people, and you say, "Oh, Eddie, man, you're just crazy." No, I'm right.
Yeah. I mean, there are people that struggle. I mean, they really do. And we see a lot of those people, and they're our neighbors. And I'll get a little religion on you.
I love God.
I'm an unlikely source for that, probably, but I mean, that's what we're commanded to do. Is to love our neighbors.
Praise God, because you're right. And here's something else too that you'll see with this Affordable Health Care Act. You're going to see families that are in debt have bad credit. Majority of that is through medical bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The credit system is going to change because people aren't going to be in debt on their health insurance and not pay a hospital bill or not pay, for lab, work or something like that. I see it all the time, okay, where people sit there and their credit reports come back and they go, "Well, that's a medical bill." Years ago, they wouldn't look at a medical bill. Today, it's there.
Yeah.
So you'll see people's lifestyles changing. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I see a lot of positive out of it. Maybe I'm waking up on the other side of, the world, but.
Well, and that's the best thing to do right now is for everybody to see the positive. It's going to happen. It's inevitable, and you need to find the positive in it and work to make the whole thing better.
Can we get you to run for president?
My days in politics are in my rearview mirror.
I love your car, by the way.
Thank you.
That is a nice car.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's an Infinity.
The convertible?
Yeah. So that
It don't look like a convertible.
Well, when the top's up, it looks like a normal car. I've driven convertibles. A lot of people think I'm having my midlife.
We do when you drive by here in the mornings.
Yeah, but I've driven convertibles for a long time. So if that's what it is, I was having a midlife crisis in my 30s. So, it's funny. My entire family, my mother, my sister, and I all drove convertibles.
Wow.
And, it's just something we like to do.
Wow.
So,
David, we're so proud to have you as our client, as our neighbor, as our pharmacist. You are certainly an outstanding citizen in this community. You're involved in a lot of things. And folks, I'm telling you, behind the scenes, he don't know that I know some of this stuff, but this is an incredible man, what he does in this community behind the scenes. And I thank you for that, and I hope someday you'll get the recognition for it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't do it for recognition. I just feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. And
well, it's the right Christian heart, and I appreciate that. You've got a beautiful family. Tell us again your hours at your stores.
We're the store downtown's open from 8 to 6. We're across the street from Sonic. That's Monday through Friday. We're open till noon in that store on Saturday. The store by the hospital's Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, and they're closed on Saturday. But the two computer systems are linked. So if you go to the store by the hospital, you need something on Saturday, you can go by there and they can take care of it.
Wow. I didn't think we'd get an hour in, but we did.
Well,
So I appreciate you taking the time coming in. Flu shots are available during the store hours.
4 hours. Just walk in and
Walk
Monday through Friday. Saturdays, we don't have a full staff on Saturday, so we like to do them Monday through Friday. If you come in on Saturday, we'll try to accommodate you both.
Well, I'm still alive, and it's been about a half hour since I took the shot. So
thank you for not passing out. That would be bad for business.
He was nervous. I could feel it in his eye. Oh, he killed Eddie. Some will applaud you for that. David, thanks a lot.
Thanks a
God
lot.
bless you.
Enjoyed it.
Please tell the wife and the family we love them, and we're so grateful for what you do in this community.
Thank you very much.
Folks, David Darby, Darby's Village Pharmacy with 2 locations to better serve you, located on East 3 Knott Street and South 3 Knott Street in the fine city of Andalusia, Alabama. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. But most of all, remember, no matter what you heard here today, keep it real and keep God in it. Because if it's real, God's got to be in it. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow right here on WKNI TV.